friends, it's me, Sylvanucci, and I'm back after a little bit of a hiatus. Just got overwhelmed with a lot of things that I wanted to do and not enough time to do them, and I ended up with so much footage on my phone that needed to be edited. That got overwhelming. I also started a project and said I was gonna do like another accompanying project. This is the first thing here in the video. I sewed a skirt and I wanted to make a top to go with it. I never made the top, but I had talked about the top so much that I felt like I needed to complete that before I could post the video. But it's been over a month now since I made the skirt and I still haven't made the top, and I do still want to, but I'll just show you guys what I have done, and we can always come back and do more later on. But thank you for clicking on my video, and I hope you enjoy. So yeah, let's just get into it. Hey guys, so I wanted to check in. So I am riding the high of completing this little keychain project, and I thought it turned out quite cute and turned out exactly how I was picturing, although it could have been longer, but I was already planning on making a second one, so not a big deal. Anyway, I have this idea here in my little journal. I have this idea for a little outfit that I'd like to make out of a Snoopy pillowcase. I want to attach long bishop sleeves to it. I don't know. I'm really torn about that because I think it'd be a really nice airy shirt for summer, but I think it would be so cute with like big, I think they're actually gonna be more like balloon sleeves rather than bishop sleeves. I'm just gonna kind of make up the shape, but anyway, yeah, so, and then I want to just make a big patchwork skirt, which I've been wanting to do, but I think making them together would be cool because it'll kind of go together a little bit more than if I made these two pieces at separate times. I don't know, like the sleeves would be so cute, but it is about to be summer, so making a full-length skirt, even though it is going to be flowy and airy, and then also long sleeves, I guess I'll probably make some decisions to change some parts of this plan along the way, so let's just get into it, see what happens. Hey guys, good morning. So I stayed up until like 2 a.m. last night making the first tier of the skirt. So there's that. And then I've never done a pocket before, but there's a pocket. It's upside down right now. But I did this pocket. It's kind of like just at a weird angle. It's a weird shape. It was attached in the most stupid way that I could have done, but I think it's gonna work. It's big enough for my phone. I also incorporated the pocket from these Snoopy shorts that I got. They were like on clearance for $5 at Walmart. And I was so sad they didn't have my size. But I bought this extra small pair, and I'm just harvesting the Snoopy and yeah, the pocket as well, but this pocket is so small. I can get my hand in there, but it's a small pocket. But yeah, we have 2 pockets. So yeah, I used all the fabrics that we talked about last night for this first tier. And then I was looking at what I have left here of what I had already prepared. And I have plenty more of the fabrics that I started with, but yeah, I think I did the math and I have like 32 squares worth of material here. Like technically this isn't one of those squares, but it's counted as 4 of them because that's how it's going to function in the patchwork. So, yeah, basically I don't have enough squares for what I need to do. So I've selected some more fabrics. So this one I've used a bit of to make an American Girl doll outfit, but it's like storybook themed baby blanket from probably the 70s. Oh wow, that tag is so faded, but it says it's 100% cotton. Interesting. I have this light pink. I think this corner here is big enough for a square. On top of the pink square, we're going to put one of these patches. So cute. I have this fabric that actually goes along with one that I was already using, so I'm really glad this one's getting incorporated as well. Like, same pattern. And I just have to include this Muppet Baby fabric for just one single square. I'm trying to kind of just use it like sparingly, spread across a lot of projects, so I can enjoy it a lot. I'd like to use some of this Rugrats fabric. So cute. Only have a small bit of this. I'd like to use some of my 1989 Joker bed sheet. I also have a Batman one from 89 as well. Not sure if they went together. This is pretty stretchy, and I was kind of trying to avoid stretchy fabrics, but I do have this Hannah Montana long johns. Pretty small pieces. I might be able to get a square out of it. I have a little bit of denim, and I have a little bit of pink corduroy. And these super cute little 90s or 80s jeans. I'm going to say 80s based on the construction. But there's no tag. Wait. Inconclusive. So those are the new fabrics that I'm going to incorporate. And yeah, I'm really excited. They're really cute.
I'm just chilling in Cedar Rapids.
See, and she's like, that's not my name.
And then if anyone wants some red wine, I do. I think you have to, if you already hit ready, you have to hit B for back real quick, and a good one. There is a photo mode too in free roam, and I'm
Still going.
the look she just gave. Black cats, famously hard to photograph.
Yeah. Hey, let me see your eyeballs.
Let's look into your eyeballs. I mean, I think you would like 30 Rock.
Okay, so let's have a quick progress report, right? What's our progress? I'm really excited to make this Snoopy pillow into a shirt. It's just, like, I was really disappointed that I wasn't able to wear this today because it hadn't been made yet. So last night I realized, after I finished the top tier, I was like, damn, I don't have nearly enough squares. So I did the math for the amount of squares that I'm going to need. These are 6x6 squares. Okay, initially I was thinking I was going to do 20 squares for each tier, or sorry, 60 squares for each tier. 2 rows of 20 squares for the second tier, and 2 rows of 30 squares for the third tier was my initial plan. So I'm still going to do the 2 rows of 30 squares, but for the second tier, we're only going to do 2 rows of 20 squares instead of 3. The skirt doesn't need to be that long. I just don't know why I decided it needed to be a ball gown. Okay, so I've procured many squares over here. They're all laid out, so I'm just gonna knock them out. I'm gonna sew a bunch of them together, and then I'm gonna sew those together. But I want to stay up late and keep working on it, so let's get into that. Wow, you guys, these quilt blocks they are just so beautiful. I'm really blown away. Like, are you kidding me? They turned out really well. I'm not 100% sure if I'm done with fabrication stuff. I mean, these still obviously need to be connected. They're just blocks right now. So I need to iron them. But let's just keep winging it because that's working for me so far. guys want to say hi to my vlog?
Bye, vlog.
Ramen party, bitch. Hello guys, I am jumping in with the voiceover because my audio is definitely not good enough for this to just be an ASMR opening experience, but I was so excited to find these Tamagotchi collectibles just randomly by the register with all of the just miscellaneous stuff they have at Barnes & Noble or all around the register to try to make you make impulse purchases. Well, I did. I bought the only 2 of these that they had, and I'm absolutely in love with them. So when I picked these up, all I knew was that they are Tamagotchi trinkets. I didn't even look that closely at the packaging because all I need to know is that they're Tamagotchi trinkets. But I was so impressed when I saw like everything that went into this. I did not expect there to be a sticker, and then there's also the case itself, which not only is a case for the figurine, but it's supposed to also fit the Tamagotchi original in it. I tried to put mine in and kind of had a tough time getting it to fit for some reason, but I guess I didn't really try that hard. But anyway, the little figurine just sits in there, but you can also, of course, take the figurine out. So, you know, it's just multiple things in one for this little blind box. So I'm just so happy with them. The Mamachi is so cute and the little face he's making. This one I cut open in a very strange way because I wanted to preserve the packaging on the front. And it's Kichibachi. So I really wanted the Nanichi too, but obviously I'm so happy with these 2 boys. They're classic for a reason. So I love that these are all like separate pieces, so you can display it however you so choose, but his little poop is its own piece, and he's, you know, a separate figurine. Doesn't stand up well on his own. He definitely needs a stand, but, you know, you do have the option to not have him on the stand if you want, and kind of get to, you know, customize how they're displayed. So I think that's really cool because, you know, a lot of blind bags, it's just like a figurine in there, but you know, these guys have all these different pieces, so you can kind of do with them what you please, and they're just so cute. And then yeah, I got the Flora Rabbit family. I currently have the brother and sister set. That was the first set that I found. Well, actually, I did see these Flora Rabbit, the parents and baby set. I did see this once before, but it was like upcharged by like $10 at a little toy store in the Mall of America. So I'm glad I waited and got them for their MSRP, and I'm just absolutely in love with them. They're so cute. Like the blue gingham and the colors of them, oh, they're just amazing. My camera kind of washed them out there as I'm taking them out, but they're just like a really lovely cream color. And the little, oh my god, the little carriage that babies, or the stroller for the babies, and the little bouquet. It's just such an amazing, adorable set. And then here's the family all together. They are just the cutest ever. I love their pastel colors. I love like spring Easter aesthetic, so I adore them. I actually painted my nails for once, so I wanted to show off how pretty it was. But next thing here is just drawing a picture of a bird that I saw on Tumblr. just drawing this with oil pastels, sitting on the couch, and I was just really inspired to draw this bird in particular because he has like this like neon coral pink color that's one of my absolute favorite colors, and I do have that in oil pastel, so that was really fun to get to draw his eyes with that color and his little legs. This was definitely, you know, a bit of a challenge because it's a bunch of weird colors that, you know, work well together on the bird, but aren't really ones that I would have thought to do myself. So the one thing that I would have done differently if I was going back and doing this again would be, you know, actually doing the correct proportions, because his legs ended up hanging off the page and I didn't get to include his feet, but that just happens when you're still learning proportion and you're not doing a sketch first. And then to preface our next little activity here, let me tell you that the best thing ever is a house purse, which is actually a basket. I just decided that I was tired of taking, you know, 3 trips out to the couch and out to the porch whenever I wanted to carry around my art supplies, or even just, you know, my Switch and my phone and my iPad and whatever I'm carrying around with me all day. So I found this absolutely perfect basket on my first trip to the thrift store with this in mind. It just manifested perfectly, and I made a little lining for it so that everything is nice and safe inside, so nothing's getting like stuck in the texture of the basket or getting scraped around or anything. So I just kept it really simple, just did these 2 squares or rectangles that were fit to the measurements of the basket, and then I just tied it to the corner with some embroidery floss that I like shoved through the holes of the weaving or whatever, but this held up really well. I've been carrying this everywhere with me. I've even brought it like over to friends' houses and to the park, and even on a trip that we went on last month. So I would highly recommend, if you're someone who carries a bunch of things around, to find yourself a basket. I love it. so we're gonna wrap up this vlog here. I have a lot of footage that I have taken over the last like 2 months that I need to, that I want to show you guys, but putting it all in this one video would be like the length of a movie. That's a little much, probably. Probably makes more sense to just split up into multiple videos. So we'll do that. So we'll be back here soon. And thanks for joining me today. Yeah, I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Everyone knows that everyone is happy when the wizard walks by, and I am the musical mage called Captain Lord Wizard, and I am at your musical service with joy.